Tomes. As usual, we're your hosts, Cody and Jason.
Hello.
And today we're gonna finish up something we started about a month ago. Uh, so yeah.
Yeah, not a D&D campaign or anything like that, but our tier list. But anyway, before we get into our feature segment.
We do have a few announcements.
Oh, wait, did you say a month or a year? Oh, wait, no, it's been 2 years.
That's the D&D campaign.
I
That's actually closer
know.
to 5.
Is it really?
Yeah. It was
Yeah, you're right. You're
yeah.
right. Yeah, it was 2018. It was 2018, yeah. It was 2018,
It's
2019. It was
it's
like the
just been
end
a
of
short
2018.
hiatus.
Yeah. Short hiatus. 5 years.
To be fair, I was given an ultimatum.
Yes, and I understand, and especially with I know how much time and prep you did into that. I understand the ultimatum.
Yeah.
Plus, you got kids, so
Yeah. Adds
actually,
a
is
whole
that
nother
how you
level.
can track how much time it is? You just go, "How old is Liam?"
More or less. No, it's been about 3 years, if I go based on that, because Liam was about a year at that point, the
Oh
last time
yeah.
we played,
Okay.
and he's just turning 4. So it's been 3 years, but still.
Okay. It's been a while.
Yeah. But yeah, I have onto announcements. So,
Yes, fantasy news.
yes,
Actually,
I go ahead.
I'll say actually it's just more pop culture news.
Yeah, more pop culture, but it's fantasy related for the most part.
Fantasy and sci-fi.
Yeah. I'm so for me, I have 4 things. The first one is Shadow and Bone season 2 is coming out, or
Mhm.
just came out. I'm excited for that. I only saw part of the first season, but I heard really great things. I'm Second one is in November. Dune Part 2 comes out. I think it's November 4th, 3rd or 4th.
Woo!
I And I have been informed by some of my friends that I'm going to be kidnapped on that day to go see it. So I'm very excited. And then not you, Jason.
Oh, yeah, that's one thing a lot of people don't see is they don't see my eye movement going like, yeah, it's not like it's me or anything."
Nope.
We're states away. If I did that, that'd be awesome.
That'd be so impressive. Be my guest. Uh, then the next one is Christopher Paolini came out with another new book, or announced a new book. He did a little countdown over the past week or so, and revealed that the new book, Murtaugh, I know he pronounced it Murtagh, but it's Murtaugh, and
You're defying the author's pronunciation of it?
how dare I?
How dare you? Sacrilege. But I'm pretty sure you got, like, a majority of people
I know.
backing you got the internet backing you, I should
Yeah.
say.
I watched his announcement and I read the comments on it, and everyone was like, "It's Murtagh? How dare you!" I was laughing so hard, but I'm right there with them. I've always read it as Murtaugh, probably because my mom's from a city called Murtaugh.
Ah, that's probably why I said you got a little bit of a bias there.
Yeah, I I know that. I And then the last thing is there is 21 days from the time of recording, so about 19 days,
Yep.
18, 19 days from the time of posting until the Dungeons and Dragons movie comes out.
Woot woot.
Yes, so excited.
Excited too. And I have a grand total of 3 things. Actually, one of them you told me, so I just wrote it down. So today being March 10th, aka Mario Day.
Yep.
So we got the Mario final trailer. That's for Super Mario that's coming out next month. In the same vein, Super Mario World in California, I believe, is now open. If not, it's doing its like soft open where people can come in and specifically, but I do believe it is now open. And then we have Deadpool 3.
Yes.
That's the one I wrote down. So I'm just like, woo, Deadpool! Love Deadpool. I'm ready. Because we
All
got
right.
Hugh Jackman in it for Wolverine.
Yes, anyone that hasn't seen the trailer, go watch it. It's hilarious. The
I'm just
announcement
so
trailer,
excited.
it's literally just the two of them talking and BSing, and it's really funny.
I'm so excited. Honestly, I love the rivalry those two have,
I know.
where they just like prank each other and do just random crap to each other, and I just love it.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
It's
You can
just
tell they're like, actually friends, and it's really funny.
like, so there's one thing I've always noticed is, like, I think I've even mentioned this before on the podcast, like, within a friend group, you have to be able to give each other crap. You have to be able to insult each other in the best ways possible.
Yes.
So, actually, in South Park, the funny thing is, like, they have Token, uh, who they're making fun of Token because he's rich,
Uh-huh.
and so he takes it very personally. It's like, "Oh, Token, no, we're not making fun of you because we don't like you. We're making fun of you because we do like you." It's just like, yeah, we got Kyle over here. We make fun of him for being a Jew. We got Cartman, who we make fun of for being fat. We also make fun of Cartman for being stupid.
We also make fun of him for this and this and this and this.
And then finally, Cartman's just like, just shut up, Kyle, you stinking. Because and that's kind of the relationship we see with like Ryan Reynolds, Hugh Jackman, is they give each other crap left and right. So it's just funny.
That is.
It's one of those times like, do they actually like each other? And the guys are like, yeah, they're best friends.
Yep. Oh man. So great.
Yeah.
Yeah, lots of cool and great things coming out. I'm excited to go see them all.
Yep, I'm excited too. This year, I think one other sci-fi announcements I remember is I believe in June, Warhammer is releasing 10th edition. So
Nice.
usually with every edition, they again, this is the interesting thing with like the Warhammer universe is they keep on expanding the story. Like there's a campaign that's been going on called the Octeris War, where yeah, crap hit the fan. I won't go into it. That's for we're not a Warhammer channel.
Yeah.
So it's just like every new edition is just like becomes a new focus. For ninth edition, it was Necrons. Necrons got a revamp. So when 10th edition comes out, everybody's like speculating, oh, who's it going to focus on this time? And so if anything, that's where the speculation is. But that at least cover that.
Yeah. Oh, that reminds me of something regarding our Patreon.
Yeah. As soon as you said that, I was like, oh crap, I forgot to mention our Patreon stuff.
So, fun fact, our Patreon does not post. And so it's now posted. So if
Was
anyone
it
was
posted? It is
trying,
now currently posted.
if anyone was trying, we apologize. It's now posted. And we do have a stretch goal that we've been talking about.
Yes, we have a couple stretch goals in mind.
Yes.
So the first one is actually depend. I don't think we've discussed which one we're going to do first. I think the first one we should do would be like a live Warhammer game, but like a
Yeah, I
small
thought we were gonna
500
do
point
the
one.
500 one. That was like
Yeah,
that's what we had talked about.
yeah. The other one we are thinking of, this is the bigger one, is the rotating DM.
Oh, that's right.
So for the Warhammer one, we're just gonna live stream us playing Warhammer 40K on Tabletop Simulator.
Meaning that he's gonna teach me how to play.
And I'm gonna be teaching you wrong because actually I was just reading through. I forgot a couple rules when we were just doing just a test stuff.
Yeah.
Because there's an entire thing called armor penetration that I did not take into account. There's an entire psych around and how psychic work. Yeah, no, there's so much. I'm like, oh, dude, as I'm reading through this, I'm like, oh crap, I think I did stuff wrong. Because actually, with your pistol, pistol can be shot at short range, at melee range.
Oh,
So
okay.
technically, you could shoot and slash with your chain sword. So you could have had two attacks.
Well, now you tell me.
I just found out today. Okay, I was bored at work. Okay.
This is why I stick with D&D. What?
You know what? This is where D&D is just I'm gonna say it's like, oh, what is it? Pseudo complicated, whereas Warhammer is actually complicated.
It's complicated in its own way.
D&D, like when you get into the combat, that's where it gets complicated. But guess what? You can do the entire campaign without really needing to go into combat. Whereas Warhammer, the entire thing is combat and it's got like 20 different layers.
It's all fun.
It's all fun. But anyway, we got
Yes.
sidetracked. So that's gonna be our first goal is a 500 point game. Whereas Cody, your army, I believe you're doing the Raven Guard, and I'll be doing the Eldari.
Yep.
So space elves versus humans.
Very
But
sneaky humans, right?
not not okay. So okay, I'll cover this real quick. So the interesting thing with like all the Primarchs I've told you before is like each one of them have like a psychic ability.
Yeah.
With the Raven Guard's Primarch, Korax, his ability is to go unseen. Like, he's able to just blend into a crowd. Although it's just super ironic because again, the Raven Guard, they're like, yeah, we sneaky boys, but then they will jump you. They will
Oh,
lie
sneak attack.
in wait in one position for 5 days to take one shot, but they will not miss. They will take out their mark and then they will jump you with jump packs. It's just, and then I got the space elves where I think that summarizes it pretty well. But they speedy, they speedy. And then the second stretch goal is we're going to put together a D&D one shot. We're going to get some other people involved, but me and Cody, we're going to actually set a timer, a random timer. So like it could be like 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15, 30, so on and so forth. And when that timer goes off, we switch in being a DM.
Yep. We'll
We're
rotate
going
in
to
and out, and
Yeah, we're going to share a character sheet, but
yes.
our character is going to have schizophrenia. So he's going to have one personality. Like he's
So
going to have
whoever's
two
playing them, we
personalities.
have our own like set of things that we're doing with them.
Yeah. And actually, what I think would be fun is like when the spells cast, it turns different colors. Like that could be one of the other things.
Oh, that would be fun.
Anyway,
We'll figure it
so
out. But yeah,
so get those stretch goals. So yeah, subscribe to our Patreon, and again, you get access to other stuff too. Like we have a lot of plans with this channel. Like personally, I would love to be able to grow to the channel to the point where we can hire artists, we can do that kind of stuff, and then like we could do like art contests and just really bring this community out. Because again, we love fantasy, we love sci-fi. Basically, we love the nerd culture. So we
we
just
do.
really want to like create a place for everybody to come and talk about it.
Yeah. Hang out, chat, share stories. And when you share your stories with us, if you want, we share stories with everyone else
hmm Of course, with permission
with
and
permission.
always permission. We don't want to.
Yes.
We don't want to steal stuff. We don't want to do stuff without permission.
Yes. That's what I was trying to say. Like with like if you want
Oh
with
yeah,
permission is what I was trying
with
to infer.
consent. With
With
consent.
consent. Yes. All right.
Oh,
Well, I think that brings us into what we're gonna do for today.
yep.
I'm
We're ready to dive back on in.
yes, like we mentioned, it's something we started about a month ago, and it is the tier list of different fantasy shows and movies that are
hmm
and sci-fi, fantasy and sci-fi.
Yeah, movies or TV shows within
Yes,
that genre, and we just rank them S through D.
D. Yeah,
Oh,
is that
F is the lowest.
okay? I am, but with that, I we did not go back and watch the last one, and we might have missed some notes. So if we repeat one, we'll enjoy our second rating and see if it matches up with the first. Let us know in the comments.
Yeah. Let us know. Let us know. And there are some I'm like, I don't think we hit it, but we gotta hit it anyway, even if we hit it twice.
Yep.
But should we start off with that one?
Sure. Let's start off with that one.
Let's start with Harry Potter. I cannot believe we missed Harry Potter.
We
Come on.
completely
And
forgot
we
Harry
call
Potter.
ourselves fantasy. Well, okay. You know what? We got Lord of the Rings. Okay, that's our makeup.
We were looking more at the high fantasy as opposed to like young adult novels and such, for the most part.
I was gonna say, well, we did
Or
hit Aragon. That's technically.
I mean, yeah, we did, but yeah,
Yeah, we forgot Harry Potter because we
we
were
did.
going like, oh
I'm
yeah, if
just
it's
making
got
excuses.
swords, we're good.
Yep. I'm just making excuses for why we missed it.
If it's got swords and guns.
Yep.
Could you imagine Harry
Um,
Potter with guns?
there's
Develop!
the meme. There's the meme. The master is giving Dobby a
Glock,
Glock.
glock. Tap, tap, tap. That would put a cap in your
Have you seen all the mods? The mod that they did that for Hogwarts Legacy?
I have not. What?
Oh,
I need to
check it
see
out.
this.
Check
I
it
will
out.
need to
It is
check it out.
hilarious. They literally
Uh,
modded the wands to be Glocks.
that is just that's perfect.
And someone did a skin mod, so they were actually a house elf or Dobby. And so
Oh,
they did the full thing. That was so great.
oh my gosh, that's great.
There's some funny mods out there that for it already.
Actually, no. Imagine if Voldemort had a gun.
Well, it would have been over. There would have been no story.
There'd be no story. Exactly.
If
It's
he
just
wasn't so heavily dependent on magic, he would have known to drop the baby out the second story window. I'm sorry, I know it's dark,
no,
but
how it should have ended.
yeah. It's
Oh,
just
okay. So real quick, because this will be another one we talk about. Star Wars.
yeah.
It's Mace Windu pointing at Chancellor Palpatine, and Anakin's coming in. It's like, no, you mustn't do it. And Mace Windu's like, look, let me break the code one time, and I'll give you one pass. And he's like, could that be that I can actually now openly get married to like
I said it all and
other
the children
eh,
consider those that's oddly
oddly
specific, but
specific,
yes.
but yeah. And then roll credits.
Oh man. I
Oh, I
love it.
love that one. Anyway, Harry Potter ranking. Okay, so again, we it's at least got to start in an A.
Yes.
And as we talk, it might go up, might go down. I'm thinking it might end up in the A plus to S minus category.
I agree. So first, let's talk about the problems. What are your problems with Harry Potter?
Mostly, and again, it's the same problems when it comes to a lot of the books adapted to movies. It's
Yeah.
never, again, as we said, it's never a 1-to-1 ratio. There's always stuff taken out. But overall, it did pretty decent. There was just one joke I really wanted in Half Blood Prince that was not in there.
Which one?
So it's when Harry and Ginny are dating.
Okay.
There's like rumors circling around and just talking. And so one of the rumors is that Harry has a tattoo.
The dragon tattoo on his. They do reference that in I am the seventh book.
Yeah, in the
The
book
seventh
they
movie.
do. Yeah,
Oh no, do they not in the movie? Yeah,
not in
yeah,
the
Ron
movie.
says it.
Uh,
I'm pulling it up now.
okay,
I'm
pull it up.
pretty sure they
Because
say
I
I
don't.
knew Ginny was lying about that tattoo.
I think. Meh. Not sure that was book or movie. Because I know it did happen in the book. Don't think it was the movie though. Not sure though. But go ahead, double check me. Because I think I know what scene you're thinking of is when they're all taking the polyjuice potion to turn
Yeah,
into Harry.
yeah.
I don't think again, I don't think it was in the movie.
Nope, right there. I knew Ginny was lying about that tattoo.
Okay,
He
so
does say
then
it. Ah.
okay, a little Easter egg to it.
Yes,
Because no, in the sixth book, it's like it goes into a lot more detail.
it does.
Just because it goes like, okay, yeah, apparently there's rumors saying that you got like a dragon tattoo on your back, and like Ron, Hermione, they're all talking, just kind of shouting out, and then Harry's just like, "So what you tell them I get?" She's like, "Told you got a hippogriff, a lot more manlier." And Ron's like, "What you tell them I got?" Told me you got like a squiggly puff, like it was like a little,
That's
like a
right. Sorry for the tangent. Sorry. Yeah.
eh. You know what? We're entertainment before anything, so as long as this is entertaining.
No, but that was a really I did really like that joke in the book as well, and I wish
Uh,
they did keep more of that in. I
yeah, it's just because again, that's really what brings a lot of these characters to life.
yeah,
But overall, I'm gonna say when it came to the book's accuracy to the film, they did average to above average, in my opinion.
I agree until the last movie.
Last movie, I think they did at least when it came to okay, until the final battle. Okay, that ending was bullcrap.
Yeah, that ruined it for me.
They,
That's the
that
only
was
reason
just
I cannot give it S tier.
let's say just the whole thing with freaking Harry snapping the wand at the end. When no, what he does, I believe he takes it back to Dumbledore.
Yeah, so he fixes his own wand and then puts it back into the tomb with a really dumb plan. To be fair,
Yeah,
I've, I've as long as I'm never defeated again, like I'm never defeated in combat, the wand will never pass on. And then goes on to become an aura. Just
and yeah, and Aura,
that,
which again, their entire job is to fight dark wizards.
so he can never be disarmed the rest of his life. It's just I was like, that's a really dumb plan, but
But no, like again, it has to be because yeah, in the book, he goes like after he repairs his wand with the Elder Wand, he takes the wand back to Dumbledore's tomb
yes,
and leaves it with him.
yeah, he does. But it was more the final battle, and there were so many things with
Although
that.
we did get good memes,
There were some great memes. That
like
is very true.
Voldemort's laugh.
Yes, I. So I'm going to tell you my biggest pet peeve with the movie.
Okay,
That is a pun because it's not having Peeves in it.
Oh my gosh. I'm blanking on peas right now.
The Poltergeist. So specifically in the fifth movie,
Okay.
throughout all of it, so Peeves is the one that plays pranks on everyone. The ghost that does all that.
That's right.
My
Okay.
favorite scene in all of Harry Potter in the books is where McGonagall whispers to Peeves that the chandelier rotates the other direction, so he can play pranks on and drop the chandelier on Umbridge.
You know what? She deserves it.
Yeah, she does. But yeah, so no, I the movies I would place as an A to A plus.
Yeah, and I would say A plus S minus just because reason why I gave it the S minus is because this is going to still stand test of time. It's up there with like Lord of the Rings and Star Wars for its trademark, for its ability to just stay.
That's fair.
Its timelessness. That's the word
Yeah,
I'm looking for.
that's fair.
So that's why I say it is in like lower S tier, but even still, it's still fantastic. It's still going to stand the test of time, and so for me, that's why I give it into the S tier.
Okay, that's fair.
Uh, Although I'm trying to think, there was one more funny thing. Oh, actually, no, I don't think they do this in the books, but not so much in the movie. Because actually, I was talking to Megan I want to say a couple weeks ago,
Yeah,
telling her just like, oh yeah, Harry's dad helped invented the Marauders map.
yeah.
They really never go into the history of the Marauders map in the
No,
movies.
they
They really
don't.
don't go into it.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, so I sat down and explained just like, yeah, no, when you go through it, it's just like Patfoot, Prong, and Wormtail. Yeah, Patfoot. Oh yeah,
Yeah,
Moody, Patfoot, Prong, and Wormtail.
yeah.
Those four were the creators of the Marauders map. It was like Patfoot was Sirius,
Yep,
Prong was James,
yep.
Moody,
Moody was Lupin.
Lupin, and Wormtail is Peter Pettigrew.
Yep,
And as I went through all that, because oh yeah, what sparked that conversation was like, what's the difference between an animagus and a werewolf?
makes sense. Yeah,
And and yeah, what led to that is okay. You remember seeing it?
yes.
One of the questions like that won the game for us is like in Prisoner of Azkaban, what page did Snape tell the class in the Defense Against the Dark Arts to turn to?
394.
Bingo! Good. I'm not the only one that remembered because I said that to my family. They're like, "How did you know?" I was like, "The dude says it like 10 times."
That's the point. You just go, I have an eidetic memory.
It's like he goes, turn to page 394. Like it's
See,
always that four
yep.
that made it stick out.
Oh, so great.
So anyway, that's why I give Harry Potter S tier. It's just because
Okay,
it's going to stand to the test of time.
I can live with that.
Okay. So
Snape
here.
sucks. Keep going.
Okay, actually, okay. I gotta say this. Mike get canceled for this. Do you know why Professor Snape could never teach herbology?
Why?
Because he could never keep a lily alive. It's bad, but it's funny.
But it's true. Oh, that's
Alright, so
fantastic.
anyway, Dean Kamen, let's
Okay.
you know who Dean Kamen is real quick?
No.
He's the inventor of the Segway.
Okay. I understand now.
Alright, anyway, let's move on.
Yep. So the first one I'm gonna suggest is The Mandalorian.
So, okay. Uh,
So it's going into the Star Wars, and we can talk about the rest of the Star Wars after this. But
mhm.
specifically, The Mandalorian.
Mandalorian, I'm gonna give it to B to kind of an A, like B
Yep.
plus.
I was thinking the exact same. It has its
Because
moments that shine.
yeah, it has a few moments where it's just like, "Oh, this is good, this is great." But then there's times they're just like they're kind of ruining Star Wars a bit.
Okay. What do you mean by that?
So, again, I loved the end of the second season
Yes.
where Mandalorian gives Grogu to Luke.
Yep.
I love that entire goodbye. It was emotional. It was heartfelt. It was just so good.
Yes.
And then they retcon it in Boba Fett.
Yeah.
That's where I'm just like, "Ugh." At
Well,
least, and again, for me, I don't like the direction they're taking Luke. That is my biggest beef. Is I do not like the direction they're taking with Luke.
okay.
So that's why for me, I'm just like, again, huge Star Wars fanboy here, but gotta still bring it to a B's because they're changing the core characters from, again, from what I knew, what I loved, and what I appreciated, because I love Luke being the hopeful farm boy. Yes,
Yes.
he's been jaded, his dad's dead, like whole 9 yards. Like, I get it. But that's what makes Luke such an amazing character, is the fact that he's able to still be a good, hopeful farm boy through all this crap.
Yeah. So what specifically about says that his ultimatum to Grogu?
Exactly. The ultimate is just like, oh, you must choose to either be a Mandalorian or a Jedi.
Did you hear his comment after all of it? After that?
It's been months since I've seen it, but I know part of it was because what was it? It was the attachment. That was the key part of it. Was the attachment.
So it wasn't actually that.
Okay.
He talks about how Grogu already knew everything. He already learned it all. And when he was with him, he was just helping him to remember, and he's already started that process.
Mm-hmm.
And Grogu already knows more than Luke. He said,
Hmm.
I was helping him choose his path in life as opposed to keeping him confined. It was letting him decide his path in life. Is he going to
Hmm.
stay with us or is he going to stay with his dad and keep that attachment? Not that it was a negative
Hmm.
connotation, but he was helping him decide what's most important.
Hmm. Was that in Boba Fett or is that now
That's in
Mandalorian?
Boba Fett.
Okay, I'll have
It's
to
a
go back.
conversation right after he has with Ahsoka.
Ahsoka. Okay,
Yep.
I have to need. Might need to rewatch it
Some of that might be implied, but that's what I pulled away from the conversation.
because I more was taking in the direction of just like he needs to choose his path. I'm not going to force him to be a Jedi. He needs to choose what he wants to do.
Yeah.
That was the more connotation I was taking with it.
Okay.
But still, I just wasn't a fan. Just like, you must choose between Jedi or Mandalorian. I was just like, dude, like there aren't Mandalorian Jedi. Like, I'm pretty sure we can go to the histories and find some.
I know of one.
I know one, although that's fanfic technically.
No, he's
Oh, okay. Yeah, sorry. No,
no,
my bad.
it's not.
I thought you were talking about your D&D character for a second.
I know of two. No, I the original, the Dark Saber. He was
Yeah.
the first Mandalorian Jedi.
Yeah.
I but yeah. So I've been watching the new season of
Mhm.
The Mandalorian, and
I
it's
haven't.
been amazing. It's only been 2 episodes, but
I
I am loving it.
Okay. I'm gonna wait till it gets to the 3 one so I can binge it a little bit.
Yeah. No,
Because
that's fair. I
I
think it comes out tomorrow. I don't remember what days they come out,
okay.
but
But Mandalorian, solid B. Just because again, I do like the overall style they're trying to go with. Like, I do like the like Wild Wild West kind of
yeah,
vibe they're trying to give.
yes,
It just, and again, look, I know it's Star Wars, it's Disney. It just again feels slightly too campy.
that's fair. I yeah. For me, my biggest flaw with it is I know it's a TV series, but there's moments where it's a little too cheesy,
I would agree.
and that's where I have a hard time. I the biggest one, and I have I kind of love her cheesiness is the mechanic. I
Oh yeah.
I love her character, but it's a little over the top cheesy to me, and sometimes I love her
Hmm.
because of that. But I always
Yeah.
cringe when I see her.
Okay. I can see that.
I favorite
But
character though, Bo-Katan.
what's that?
She is amazing. She's the Mandalorian, the
Oh
actual
yeah.
Mandalorian. She ran Mandalore for a while.
Yeah.
She shines a little bit more in season 3, but yeah,
Yeah. Is it sad that I'm not the biggest fan of her character?
I don't. So her actual character and what she's been through the Clone Wars and all that, not my
Mhm.
favorite. Where she's at now, I like a lot.
Okay. Because to me, actually, oh yeah, okay. So this was my big beef in the end of like season 2.
Yeah,
Because again, I know, again, Disney's going through this entire girl power. phase, so to
Yeah.
speak. But the fact like her and two others were able to easily take down like Boba Fett and Jindarin.
Yeah.
I was just like, really? Come on, Boba Fett. He's been around a lot longer. He can hold his own, okay?
Yeah. That that one was a
Like
little
it was very much a yeah, girl power movement. I was just like, "Ugh, no. This is a dude who literally crawled out of the Sarlacc pit, okay? You got nothing on him.
to be fair, I didn't really take that one as girl power as much. I took it much more as these are older Mandalorians. This is the actual Mandalorians coming in and fight. And you see all throughout the Clone Wars and Rebels, uh, with Sabine and all of them,
Mhm.
they just trash people.
Yeah,
I
and I haven't watched really any of that. So for me, I'm
uh,
going on my Legends of Star Wars because again, in Legends, that's now like non-canon.
yeah,
Boba Fett's freaking the leader. He is. Oh, what is it called?
Mandalore,
Yeah, he's the Mandalore,
yeah,
and he's dope. Like he takes crap from no one, and except for his daughter. He takes crap from his daughter and
yeah,
granddaughter.
and that's where Legends and then what's canon
That's canon now.
uh, is different. I would highly recommend Rebels.
I know. Like we started watching it a little bit.
Yeah,
I think.
we did.
Hmm.
I honestly would put Rebels by the end of it with the theme as a total as an A to S tier show.
Okay. Cause no, like again, I've seen some clips from it that I'm like, oh, that is great. Like I love how detailed they're going in with it, especially like the Maul versus Obi-Wan Kenobi fight. Cause
Best fight in all of Star Wars.
I loved how the actor for Maul broke it down.
Yeah.
I love that interview so much. And I'm just like, you can see that subtlety. I love it when shows master that subtlety.
Yep.
And that's when I get like I get strong vibes of that from Rebels. And again, I also love Rebels because they brought back my favorite villain,
Thrawn.
Thrawn.
He's
Dude.
amazing in Rebels.
Dude. And I've listened to all of every audiobook related to him, even the new canon stuff. And he is still just that master. And I love it.
So he may be coming into uh, yeah.
I'm
I'm
excited. If anything, I'm more excited about that than anything in Star Wars. Is I want to see my boy Thrawn. For
he's
me,
awesome.
I have only one person I want to cast for him, and that is Benedict Cumberbatch.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Because looking at him as Khan in Star
Yeah.
Trek, that's Thrawn. That is Thrawn to a T. Just mind like have him draw back on the anger, but
Mhm.
still have that looming calculated that he has in Sherlock.
Yeah.
Like that is Thrawn. That is Thrawn.
Oof, that'd be so amazing. I hope they get him to
If they do, I will die a happy man.
do it.
Cause
Yo.
oh man, I still like I go to his quotes and they are just cause okay, if Emperor Palpatine is 2 steps ahead, Thrawn is 3.
Yeah.
And he's not a force user. And I freaking love it.
He's an amazing tactician.
He's
And
an amazing general.
yeah, he
And
is.
and the audiobooks that actually are canon, he has a grand total of 6.
Mhm.
3 before he enters the Empire. It's his prequel. So it's him
Nice.
during the Clone Wars where he meets and works with Anakin.
Nice.
Like, and it shows kind of what he does within the Chiss ascendancy. It is just so good.
Oh, I bet. I love Thrawn. He's just so great. And I really think you'll enjoy how he gets how they beat him in Rebels.
Mhm.
Because I don't think he's dead. I don't think anyone thinks he's dead.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure they're bringing him back. But the way they beat him is heavy cost. A very heavy cost.
Oh
I
yeah.
think you'll really enjoy what happens if you haven't already seen it.
I haven't
I
seen it. It's been one of those things like I'm just waiting till like I want to get all the info out there
Yeah.
first and then see how it all transpires.
Okay.
But
So Mandalorian season 3 has already referenced Rebels once. I
dope.
which is when they're in hyperspeed, they see the whales. So the whales are how they developed the hyperspeed lanes and developed
Mm,
hyperspeed is they've seen these whales go and they've just naturally do it.
okay.
And so that's a part of Rebels throughout the entire series, for the most part.
Oh,
And
okay. Yeah, like Grogu's seeing the whales.
yeah, so
Okay,
he sees them through the slipstream.
that's cool.
So, nice little reference. I thought it was really cool, and I think that's going to tie into it all.
Yeah.
But yeah,
So,
but
so
yeah,
we've covered Mandalorians. We've
yeah,
covered Rebels. Okay, let's now do the
yes. The OG, the prequels, and the
sequels. Okay,
yes,
OG A to S. Okay, like
yeah,
sorry, staple. We don't even really need to discuss it. If you've
no,
seen it, you know.
yep,
A to S.
yes.
I'm going to say S because it's going to
Let's do
still stand the
S.
test of time.
Yes, it's S. Prequels.
Prequels, I'm going to do it this way. When they first came out, C. Over time and with the Clone Wars, B. B to A.
So I'm going to add one more thing into there.
Okay.
What could have been? Have you seen the original duel for Palpatine against the Masters?
No, I have not.
Have you seen the original duel against Dooku with Anakin for Episode 3?
Actually, I think I heard like listened to the novelization of it.
So a guy animated both. It's not the best animation, but I don't know where it is, so I can't link it.
You can't link it.
Um, but try and find them. They're amazing.
Hmm.
They add so much more to it, and especially so Episode 3, I kind of want to put on its own.
Hmm.
I Episodes
Episode,
1 and 2, I definitely agree with B tier.
yeah, 3 though.
It's
S.
S by
S.
far.
Like
It is
episode 3
amazing.
carries the entire trilogy.
It does. There's things I love about Attack of the Clones.
Hmm.
I their
There's
Maul is the highlight of Phantom Menace.
hmm
He is the Phantom Menace. I don't care what anyone says. I know it's supposed to be Palpatine, but it is. He is the Phantom Menace. And then Episode 3, S tier, amazing perfection.
just cuz even just story-wise, it's just so well.
Yeah.
It's just like I remember as a kid in theaters watching it going,
Yo,
just going, "Holy cow!" Like, dude, okay, I was that big nerd Star Wars kid growing up.
I was
I
too. I
had
went and saw that for my birthday
oh,
because it
nice.
came out the day before.
Gotcha. Like, I remember having the little toy lightsabers you went, whoosh.
Yep.
Got, like, the customizable one, like dude, us at Disneyland.
I know,
Disney
right?
World, sorry, Disney
Disney
World.
World, yeah.
We're
Yep.
like, "Yatta!"
That was so much fun.
It was a
Uh,
blast.
but
But,
yeah,
man,
all right, you ready for
so
this?
prequel D.
Sequels.
Sorry,
Sequels.
sequels. D. C to D.
Yeah, they were pretty bad. The
Like
one thing I have to say is at the end of the first one,
mhm,
it definitely finally felt like Star Wars. I felt like it was all leading up back to Star Wars. And so I
mhm,
had so much hope for the second one. And if they had kept with the same director for all three, instead of trying to do three and then switching back, it would have been so much better.
mhm.
I, to this day, believe, and was it Ryan Johnson who directed the second one?
Yeah, Ryan Johnson, he
Yeah,
did
I
episode 8.
fully believe that he hates Star Wars and wanted to destroy it.
Me too. Uh, it's like this, end of episode 7, I was like, "That we're on the edge of greatness, like, this could be the restart and revamp of Star Wars, of just
Yeah,
absolutely amazing god tier level."
yeah,
And then we got Last Jedi.
yeah, so bad. It was so bad.
Like, all the way up till that point, like, okay, like, Force Awakens, I give it a C. C to B, okay?
Yeah,
C being average, like,
I
okay,
say C.
like, yeah. C for average Star Wars.
If it had, if the rest of the series had done good, it would have gone up.
Correct.
But because where they took the rest of it, it just was let down. The entire thing was let down.
It was just like, as we got into episode 8, everything we were anticipating, everything we were wanting to happen got chucked out the window just like Luke tossed that lightsaber.
There was a hand. Did you see the hand?
Exactly. Me, you, and Alec were memeing like none other during that time. Like there was a hand that with that. Where is the hand? Just like every single question we had got disregarded, and Last Jedi just butchered it. Like the
Yeah,
only reason why I'm not giving it an F is because Force Awakens at least resparked that Star Wars interest.
it did. And it did introduce some really cool characters
Mhm.
that had a lot of potential. I The biggest one, they did Finn so dirty. They
They
set him
did him
up
the
and
dirtiest.
threw him to the side.
They did that with Finn. They did that with Poe.
Less so
Well,
with
less
Poe,
so with Poe, but Finn got
but
done dirty.
yeah. So Poe, I kind of feel like they had him be a kind of a symbol of the old times, and then showed why he's no longer good. So they did him dirty, but in a different way.
Hmm.
And
And then Ray was just a dumpster fire.
yes, I will say this: there was a really cool moment in the very last one, in The Rise of Skywalker.
Hmm.
At the very end, the last battle where they bring everyone in and just you're not alone.
It's like
And
yeah, like they had a couple of cool moments. Okay,
yeah,
that was
they
one of
did.
them. And for me, the other real cool moment was when it was all the Jedi coming through to Ray.
That was really cool.
Like that was cool. Like again within all these, there might be a cool moment here or there.
Yes. I just wanted to talk about some of the things I did like before we give the whole entire series the D tier.
Yep, the
Those
couple of gems
moments
here.
are the reason why it's not.
Yeah, it's because
Uh,
they did have a couple cool moments. They had a couple cool concepts that just really did not land.
yeah.
Because for me, like the biggest one I loved, like this was my theory, and I really wanted to stick with it, was that Ray was a child of the Force, like Anakin.
Oh, okay.
That was the idea I wanted. That is the idea I love. So that way we didn't have to do, oh, it's all about the Skywalkers. It's all about the Skywalkers. This way it would have been a good clean transition.
That would have been.
That would have been. But instead they're like, oh no, she's a Palpatine. I was like, what?
Yeah. See, the
And
what
Palpatine's back? We had Snoke.
I know that was another one that just kind of threw Snoke out, and I understand that it was a like failed clone essentially, but it still just I don't know. It just was. It didn't make sense. It wasn't clear how they did everything, and it just fell on its face. I The theory I like the best. I going into the series, or after the first one,
Mhm.
was that Ray was the son of
Son?
Sabine and Ezra,
Son?
daughter, whatever.
Sorry, I had to give you crap.
I was thinking of multiple generations, so I was thinking of Obi-Wan, and then I was thinking because Satine or Sabine, was theorized to be actually
Dot
was the child uh,
Obi-Wan
of
and Satine?
Obi-Wan and Satine, raised in secret as a Ren instead of as
Mm,
Satine's kid. And I love that theory. And so it just carries on through there. So she's actually a Kenobi. I was like, that would be cool.
mhm,
I think the Child of the Force is better for the transition away and do all that. But going into it, that was my favorite theory.
yeah. Like, again, I heard the Obi-Wan Kenobi theory, like, was granddaughter, stuff like that, but
Yeah,
for me, I was just, like, always felt like it's daughter of the Force. That would
yeah,
have set better.
yeah,
Because even going with, like, okay, I'm just gonna switch to, like, if they were trying to really push a feminine agenda, that way she has 0 ties. She can start the legacy on her own.
yep,
And that way we get a small part of it from kind of like the prequels and sequels where it's always like, okay, this is the chosen one. This is the chosen one
yeah,
that was designated by the Force.
yeah.
And that really could have been Rey's entire thing is she was a child of the Force like Anakin.
But that would have been the smart way to do
That would have been smart way. Exactly.
it. All right, let's stop kicking that dead horse. I am.
Yep. Okay.
Dear. On
So
to Star Trek. We talked about Star Trek a minute for a second.
yep, just for a minute.
I am. So we'll break this one into a few different categories as well.
Okay.
And to start with the originals, the original series. What are
Yes.
your thoughts?
Okay, so Star Trek with William Shatner, right?
Yes.
This is where I've seen very little of it, so I feel like my opinion does not carry much weight here. But for what it was, like solid B to A.
Yeah.
But again, this is where again I'm coming from a '90s kid who again I didn't grow up on the original Star Trek. I grew up on the Next Generation.
Fair.
Like I saw more Next Generation with Picard, not
Okay.
Kirk.
Okay.
So that's where for me, I've seen a little bit of Picard, not Picard, a little bit of Kirk
Hmm.
from Shatner. So that's why I'm just like, it was a good, solid, like, I know what it stood for. And even still, some of the clips I've seen, Kirk was still pretty solid.
Yeah.
But so that's why I'm like, I have to give it like a B because this is where I don't know enough to really give it an A, but I know it
That's
was
fair.
at least good, above
Yeah.
average.
It was definitely above average, especially for the time.
Oh, yeah.
Really great concepts. One of the things I love is so many of the concepts from that are from actual science. They
Hmm.
didn't just make it up willy nilly like Star Wars does. It's true concepts and how things could actually work.
Yeah, and actually, I love. Oh, so I watched a TikTok one day, and just like one guy was explaining why he loves Star Trek
Mhm.
because we see stuff like okay, we see like Warhammer 40K, we see Dune, we see all these like sci-fi dystopian societies that are like, oh yeah, this is how humans got went wrong.
Yeah,
Star Trek is this is what could happen if we work together. It's the
yeah,
positive ending. It's the good ending compared to everything else is the bad ending.
yeah,
So, if anything, that's why I have a strong appreciation for Star Trek, is because it really does go into the science on how it could actually work. How can war travel work? And it's
hmm,
more about exploring the galaxy rather than conquering it.
yes. I definitely agree with that. I give it a high A, A plus. Honestly, I haven't
Hmm.
seen all of the originals. I and just haven't had the opportunity. So I can't say it's S tier because I haven't seen enough,
Hmm.
but I still really enjoyed it, and I definitely put it up as a high A to
Hmm.
A plus.
Yeah. I say for me, Next Generation is what I mostly grew up on, and I loved Next Generation.
Yeah,
Because, sorry, for me, Patrick Stewart, man.
he's so great.
Patrick Stewart as again, come on, Picard as a sorry, Picard is my captain. Like Kirk is cool, especially as I've seen like in the Star Trek movies.
Mhm.
But Picard is a man.
Picard is really cool. He's a great captain.
He is a fantastic captain.
So, what would you rank it?
Next Generation, that one I gotta give A to S. Like
Okay,
just
I'm good
because
with that.
I love Picard. Like
Yeah,
Picard is fantastic. I don't remember like any of the episodes in like in great detail,
yeah,
but I love kind of the character arc. And actually, I was watching this on a podcast with Sanderson that he does with his friend David,
yeah.
and they were talking about it's just like it's fun to see Kirk's progression because not Kirk, Picard's,
Cards.
because we see. Uh, actually, you can even kind of relate this a little bit with Kirk too. We see them overcome their personal struggles. Like
Yeah,
for the big one with Picard was the Borgs.
yeah,
Him overcoming kind of that prejudice, the prejudice against the Borgs. As you get on, he still has a little bit of that resentment where you see him still hesitant to work with any of like the Borgs or androids, but you see his character develop as he goes through it. And I love that.
yes,
So,
yeah. So my favorite captain is actually Pike.
okay.
He's the one that was captain of the Enterprise before Kirk.
Okay. Oh,
I
yeah. Yeah.
and so I don't remember if he was in the original. I don't think he was, or if he wasn't a main in it. But especially from the newer ones, this is where I've seen most is the newer stuff. I was really introduced to Star Trek with the movies,
Hmm.
the Chris Pine movies. Before that, I'd only really watched Star Wars. I just didn't have that much interest in Star Trek.
Yeah.
I, but those movies, especially the first one, the second one was really great, and the third one was still great. Not it kind of fell off a little bit for me,
Mm-hmm.
Um, but those ones I definitely would put as a high A to S tier.
Say the movies, I gotta give it like A to S for just special effects.
Oh, amazing.
Oh, specifically S to the music choice.
Yes.
The
The
music
music.
choice in those movies.
Oh man, I could listen to it all day. I actually started watching them again. It's what I put my youngest son to sleep to. It's what Hunter falls asleep to is watching those because he finds them boring.
Yeah.
But I love it.
Like honestly, because again, okay, the third Into Dark is
Into
the third
Darkness
one?
is the third one, yeah.
Was not the biggest fan of that one,
Mhm.
but I love the sabotage scene.
Yes.
That is just oh, every single time I still see that, like the hairs on my arms stand on end. I get chills every single time.
Oh, it's so good.
It is so good. So I'll give the Star Trek movies, like the new ones,
Yeah.
an A, a
Okay.
solid A.
Works for me. I am. So have you seen any of the newest stuff? Like Discovery or Card
I've
or
seen a bit of Picard, and I do like kind of they went a more darker direction with Picard,
yeah,
which is is interesting. I've
yeah.
seen a good chunk of it where it's like, oh, was it? Is it the Klingons? Not the Klingons. Yeah, it is the
The
Klingons.
Klingon War?
Klingon War, where again they're like now samurais. Like he brings on like a samurai esque Klingon.
Oh, okay.
Like I thought that was just cool, just because
Yeah.
you know me and Japanese culture.
Yes.
I was like, they got a samurai Klingon. Let's go.
Yo. I so I haven't seen Picard yet. I was
Mhm,
watching Discovery for a little while, and then I really want to see Strange New Worlds. That one looks good.
mhm.
But Discovery is weird as fuck. Like
I
I'm
think I've
sorry.
heard that. I think I've heard that.
I just I just can't get over one thing. And there's a semi-random sex scene between a human and a Klingon, and it is weird. I just and I didn't expect it at the time because, like I said, I this is the show that I put my kids to sleep to, well, my youngest to sleep to, because
Mhm.
I didn't realize that was in there. And so all of a sudden, it shows a Klingon with like naked woman. I'm just like, oh, don't look.
He's like, "And cover the eyes, kiddos."
It's
No,
like
those aren't moms.
those are not moms, and no, that is not real, and that is weird. It was just so weird. I There's some other things that are really cool in it. There were some really interesting things, but it's just weird. I stopped watching. I was like, I can't watch this anymore.
Oh, my mind for a sec went to Total Recall.
Oh man,
The
three.
3. Yeah, sorry, my mind just went there for a quick second.
You're good. Fun fact: that's a real woman. That's not CGI. That's an actual girl, and in both movies, it's the same girl.
Okay,
And that's kind of a theme brought over.
yeah. Alright, so, we're still I thought of one more that we can do
Yes.
because oh my god, this is basically Harry Potter, Star Wars, Star Trek, so I got one more that is a star category.
Okay.
Stargate.
Oh, SG-1 or Atlantis? What's your
Yup, we'll do
preference?
both, we'll do both.
What's your preference?
Personally, I started SG-1. Like,
Okay.
SG-1 was where I was at. I actually remember one Saturday just because yeah, I was just watching it on Sci-Fi where it was just a marathon day of just
Yeah.
all SG-1, and I that's actually one of the first shows me and my dad hit it off with. He showed it to me, and I'm just like, "Oh, that's kinda cool." So, I think
Yeah.
personally, I'm more of an SG-1 fan. Atlantis is still awesome, like, sorry, Jason Momoa, love Jason Momoa, okay? And he did
Oh yeah.
fantastic, but for me, my heart belongs to SG-1.
Okay, that's fair. I like Atlantis better myself.
Mhm,
I really loved Atlantis. I They're just such a cool concept, and that's carried over to so many different things that I do. So like with space engineers,
mhm,
I right now we're essentially building Atlantis. I
okay,
Our own version of it. I
mhm,
But yeah, it's we're just having a ton of fun. But it's because of this that I really fell in love with these different sci-fi things. So I just
mhm.
remember my brother would always watch it. And so I was just like, "What is this?" So I sat down and watched it with them. And I was, this is so cool.
It's so good, and I just love how it is sci-fi with mythology.
Yeah.
Like SG-1 was very heavy Egyptian, like
Yes.
Egyptian mythology, where it's the pyramids, the whole nine yards.
Yeah.
And Atlantis, it again, sorry, it's Atlantis.
It is exactly. Uh, but
Shame.
do you remember the TikTok sound? Where there's like, girls say that guys only want one thing. But what we really want is to find the lost city of Atlantis.
Oh yeah, yeah. It's like girls think guys only want one thing, but the one thing we really want to do is find the lost city of Atlantis, and they just begin
Yep.
running off, like grabbing a hat.
Yes. It's so true. Oh man. All
Is it
right.
on? Again, I'm just
Uh
trying to remember. I think they have found Atlantis now, but I'm not sure.
so there's a really great theory. And I really enjoyed the videos on this. I've heard rebuttals, but not for this most recent one. We've talked about this. I think we did do this one last time because I'm having significant deja vu. But I there's the Eye of the Sahara. There's these rings that basically it matches up pretty perfectly
Okay,
with what it is. I am someone had debunked it before, but there's been new stuff that came back, and it's looking like it could be where Atlantis was, if Atlantis was real at all.
dope.
So I recommend looking at the videos, see look it up, see the rebuttals if there's anyone rebutting it.
Hmm.
One of the other things it does point out, which is really cool, is that you can see the massive flood lines for the water going across the Saharan desert,
Ah,
and it looks like it came from the Mediterranean out to sea, out
okay.
that way. So it was probably like an asteroid or something that hit the Mediterranean and caused a huge
Huge wave.
tsunami to cross the entire continent,
Okay.
or northern portion of the continent. And so it's just there's some really cool things like
Oh yeah.
that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would rank Stargate both of them together probably a B tier.
I was gonna say A,
A.
like A to B
Okay,
for
I'm
me,
good with
just
that.
because I'm trying to
Let's
remember
give it an
like
A minus.
A minus, A minus.
It's still an A,
It's
but
still
you
an
kind
A.
of feel you
It's a
kind of feel
ninety
gypped.
percent. It's a 90%.
Yes.
Still classified as an A.
Yep.
Okay, I think we have time for one more.
Yes.
So I did the
Let's.
last one, so this one is now yours.
Sorry, I'm just texting my wife real quick. She's at work and just asked if I'm busy, so I'm just see what. I'm just making sure she's okay.
You just say, "Yep, I'm with my husband."
Which one? That's
Oh,
that
true,
will be
true. I
her
forgot.
answer.
Yeah, true. I forgot. You're cheating on me.
It
It's
is an
okay.
open marriage.
Just because it is open doesn't mean I like it. It's fine.
uh, okay, so the one I'm gonna go to is one that I really love, and it's Babylon AD.
Yeah, that was a solid one, although it was a little weird for me.
It was weird. It was definitely a little weird, but it has this kind of niche place in my heart that I just love it. I think the concept of it is really cool. It is the dystopian future type one. I
It's
but
it's it's like a cleaner version of Cyberpunk.
that's fair. To be fair, also came out before Cyberpunk.
Mm. Again, 2077? Yes. It was a tabletop RPG in the 80s.
Oh, it was?
It was.
Oh, okay.
Because the original title was Cyberpunk 2020.
Oh, that's cool.
So that's why they released it in 2020.
Yeah.
Was to go back to the roots, but they made it 20 actually, no, it came out in the 70s 'cause it was the whole 50 years ahead idea.
Nice.
So,
But yeah, I
eh.
am.
Sorry.
You're good. I'm happy to be proven wrong. Uh, but yeah, so I personally would put Babylon AD as a B tier. It is
Yeah.
weird, but it has its some really cool things. The ending was kind of weird, uh, but the concepts in it, the technology, that map, I want that map. I mean, I know technically we have that map on our phones now, But
Yeah.
being able to have a physicalized version of that would be so cool. Of like you fold out the map and everything. Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
I
Like, it has a lot of cool concepts, a lot of cool ideas. Just I don't think I was the biggest fan of the whole, "Oh, we re-genetically engineered Eve."
yeah.
That entire thing, I was just like, "What? What?"
Yeah.
Like, that's where I was like, "Okay, this is getting weird for me." But, again, the technology, a lot of that kind of ideas, that was kinda cool. That was
Yeah.
cool.
And, and that's what I was really enjoying from it was this is a sci-fi universe that you can actually see happen.
Mhm.
This isn't a not too distant future type thing.
Until we get to the Eve thing.
Well,
I
yes
mean,
and no.
technically, yes, because frick, they are again, I don't trust it, but they're figuring out, like, you can take
Cloning sheep and they're doing all these other things that genetically modifying. And if there's no restrictions, which we have restrictions now, but get rid of those, of course someone's going to try and do that.
it's it's the human centipede kinda thing. There's a reason why we don't do things. Just because we
Yes,
can do it does not mean we should. Eh,
exactly. But that's a moral thing that we can talk about and that
yeah.
gets brought up because of it.
Mhm.
So that's my last one. I
Well,
have more, but
dude, oh my gosh. See here, first time we knocked out so many. We just went down the list, down the list. This one, we, like, focused in on, like,
we did.
the very popular ones, like Harry Potter, Star Wars, which
Yep.
actually, again, one I just think there's one I'll mention one final cool thing with Star Wars, specifically The Mandalorian.
Yeah.
I like what they've done with technology.
Yes.
Cause again, in the prequels, like, we have the green screens and blue screens. Like,
Yeah.
I love Star Wars when you're looking at special effects, because you
Hmm.
kinda see the evolution with the time. And with The Mandalorian, it's state of the art. Instead of these massive, like, green screens, it's basically a big giant TV instead
Yeah.
that they're projecting for the backgrounds. Cause then it's a lot easier for people to edit. They can go into the background. Because actually what it does, it's Unreal. They're doing Unreal Engine onto these screens.
Oh,
So
cool.
they're yeah, so that way it's the actors can actually see what's shooting at them instead.
Yeah.
And then the lighting with it, the lighting stays accurate, stays consistent to where it actually looks like they're on location.
Nice.
So
That is
it's
right.
just and that's just one thing I love Star Wars is, again, you see the evolution from original. You see
Hmm.
them using puppets. They're using all these, like, miniature sets. They're have everything just designed.
Yeah.
And I think they were starting, and then yeah, they began using like Dolby Atmos kind of stuff. Then we
Hmm.
get to the prequels where it's green screens, blue screens, that
Yes.
kind of special effects. And then we're getting to where we're now, where it's a mixture of real special effects like from the originals with the special effects from the prequels.
Yeah.
Now, if anything, that's just like the one cool thing I love looking at with Star Wars.
It has been really cool. And one thing I will say with the new Mandalorian series, so they go to Mandalore, which is shouldn't be a surprise to anybody.
Yeah, it's
Um,
in the trailer.
yeah, and you see one of the cities that was bombed, and oh man, I it looks so good. The city looks terrible, but it's so well done. Uh,
Mhm. It's like, "Oh
yeah,
my gosh, it's so terrible, but good job on special effects department."
yes. I so I'm going to put one last thing. I'm not. We don't have to talk about it.
Yeah.
But this is a challenge for someone in the comments. I There is a it'll be on YouTube only, a series called the Raid series. It's linked to a game called Escape from Tarkov, one that I personally love. I do count it as the sci-fi genre because it is a
Mhm,
futuristic, not as a more military type thing. But the series is extremely well done.
mhm.
If anyone has seen it, I want to see your opinions on what you would rank the Raid series.
Alright. Sounds good. But, guess right now we'll put a bookmark into this discussion, and we will try to finish our tier list as it slowly grows as we go.
Yes.
Alright, so alright, so we'll catch you guys next time.
Bye.